The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Platinum Millionaire Agent Maker webinar. This is Todd Walters, Platinum Coach, and I'm glad you're with us today. So we're going to get right to it. There's so many ways I could start here, but I'll just start with what's on the screen. I want to talk about your business specifically, and how well you're doing. Like, what happens when you get stuck? How do you get unstuck? And are you doing as well as you should be doing right now with this system? So let me give you some unique perspective on it. Right here on the screen, you can see it. How many leads are you generating per week from Craig's system? So let's just dissect that here real quick before we get going. This is a system that you bought, and in reality, you have bought a Craig Proctor real estate business franchise, just like I did. Back in the mid-90s, I bought a Craig Proctor millionaire real estate business franchise. Okay, I took it back to my office and I put it to work. And one thing I learned early on is that it would not work without the coaching and training from Craig. Okay, and I'll give you one example of that, and that would be message to market match. Message to market match. Okay, and in fact, message to media to market match. All right, so this is a marketing business franchise, right? So, and then we've got all these other great systems and things. It's all part of Craig's millionaire real estate business franchise. He calls it the Quantum Leap system. Okay, so let's make sure everybody understands what you bought. So with that, just like you bought, and you may have heard me say this, just like if you bought a McDonald's franchise, okay, and you're all excited about that, well, guess what? It's not going to work without McDonald's coaching and training. Okay, the hamburgers won't be the same. The French fries won't be the same because you're not quite sure where or who to buy your grease for, how long to cook that stuff for, okay? And the list goes on, okay? It's the same thing here. So here's my issue as Platinum Coach in working with the Platinum members, which are the best members, okay, to use the system. My problem is that many buy the franchise, okay, this business franchise prototype that sits on top of your real estate business where you are, and then you kind of nibble around the edges. You take something that you see or hear about, and you take it back to your business or office, and then you try to apply it. You try to implement it. And the implementation of it is missing a lot of things. It's not a duplicate. Or we failed on the proper message to media to market match aspect of the marketing. So that's a problem I see, and I know that impacts and affects a lot of you guys. Let me give you an obvious example on that. Okay, here's an obvious example. I'm going to pull up the coaching site here, and I'm going to go to the ad generator real quick. So let me do that real fast while you guys are listening and watching. Okay, so tools, ad generator, I had to log back in. Okay, now let me show you my screen. And let's just look at the editorial ads. Okay, and let's look at sellers. Okay, so here we are. And let's look at this ad, the FSBO ad. One of my favorite ads of all time, how to sell your house without an agent, save the commission. Okay, but let's think about it. Many members will get this ad and they'll run it in the real estate section of the newspaper. Or they will mail it to for sale by owners. Running this ad in the real estate section of the newspaper or making a copy of it and mailing it to for sale by owners is not part of the coaching and the training. Okay? There are a lot of things you can do with bits and pieces or whole parts of Craig Proctor's Quantum Leap system. There are a lot of things you can do with it, but that doesn't mean it will work. So what we teach you and we coach you on is exactly how it works within the context of the system. Okay, so this ad, we know that it works the majority of time for the people who run it in the news section of local community papers. Okay? Right? Now, but it doesn't stop there. How to sell your new market house without an agent is different than how to sell your home without an agent. So do we need to draw specifically on the city that you're targeting, or the area, or the county, or the zip code? Do we need to add how to sell your new market house without an agent and save the commission, which is one of the headlines that you can use? That's all part of the coaching and training. Message to media to market match is so important for you guys. It will make you and it will break you when it comes to your marketing and advertising dollars. So if you choose to buy the Quantum Leap system, which you have, and not engage implementation via coaching and training on the system, you need to know that it will take a long time for you to get to where you want to go. There will be a lot of frustration in the middle, okay? And we don't want that for you. We want to coach you and train you on using the Millionaire Agent Maker system, the Quantum Leap system, all right? So that's what we aim to do. Okay, so engage it and copy it. And there's a lot to it, I get it, but think about it. There's weekly webinars. You have a coach at your disposal. There are live conferences. There are member examples, okay, and a whole lot of in between, okay? And the materials are available 24/7. Okay, so that's an obvious example of message to media to market match, and I'm going to cover a few more of those as we move along here. So let's minimize that. Let's get back to our screen, and let's start with this business autopsy. All right, so grab a notepad and grab a pen and follow along and ask yourself these questions along the way, and I'm going to make all of this available to you. Many of you watching today's webinar have seen this before, and you're already like, it's, oh my God. Okay, I remember this, and you're excited about it. Okay, so yesterday I had a member, say, hey, look, I've been asked how from others, how am I doing with the system? And my response has been, I can't really tell them how I've been doing because I've been at it now for about 4 months, and I haven't made really any more money than I made before the system. Okay, and the person goes on to tell me about the massive number of leads that they have in their system. And I'm like, well, let me stop you. Okay, you just told me that you haven't really made any more money from it, okay, in the few months that you've had it, but yet you have how many more leads? Oh, at least 2 times, 3 times the number of leads that every month than I had before I got here. I'm like, okay, well, guess what? Nothing will change. Nothing is going to change. You will not make any more money than you've made because it's just you. You're already working as hard as you can. Unless you leverage the leads that you're getting, okay, having somebody else or other people handle the overflow, turning that into closings, then you can't make any more money. It's impossible. You're already going as hard as you can go. Why would you even say that? Why would you even think that you can make more money than you're making right now, given the fact that you're already busy? You can generate 1 more lead, 500 more leads, okay, in addition to what you're getting. And it's not going to matter because you can't convert any more than you're converting right now. So if you want your business to change, you have to leverage the overflow of business that you're getting. Okay, and that's how you grow your real estate business, is you do it by having overflow. So whether you're doing 50 transactions or 500 transactions, your ability to have overflow, okay, it starts there. So that's why the first question is this: how many leads are you generating using the system? Okay, so let's go back and let's look at some answers to that question. And I've got a little flow chart I'm going to follow and flip around, okay? Let's say you're not generating enough leads using our system, okay? We don't trust you entirely, by the way, on that because of what I just gave you the example I used with this guy, who actually is generating way more leads than he can get to. But he may have said, since he's not making any more money, simply because he can't physically sell any more homes, he may say he's not having enough leads, which is not very smart. What he doesn't have is enough people to handle the overflow. Okay, but how many leads you're generating per week? Not enough. All right, now one more thing on this before we dive too far deep in it. See how it says per week? How do you measure your business? Are you measuring your real estate business weekly, daily, monthly? How are you measuring it? Here's one thing I do know: it must be measured, and you need to know how many leads you're getting from your various lead sources. How many sources of marketing or quote lead generation do you have? Can you source code the leads that you get? Sign call, referral from John Smith, past client, referral from Betty Sue, past client. Let's go to Steve Jones returned and bought a home from me. Okay, so Steve Jones, past client, came back and bought. Okay, how did he know to do that? Was there marketing to him? No, I have no marketing to past clients. So then your source code would be accident. Accident. You know, so remember, past client is not a source. Like, you don't know why they come back and bought from you. You can only guess. You did a good job for them. Okay, is your guess, right? I did a good job. But you also did a good job for other people that haven't come back and bought from you, bought from somebody else. It's the same thing with referrals. When someone refers you, what's the actual source? Well, the source of the referral would be who sent you the referral, but what prompted them to do that? And you may say, well, I send them my newsletter every month. Does your newsletter ask for referrals? No. Okay, well, then how do you know they called you because of the newsletter? Well, I did a good job for them before as well. Okay, but you also did a good job for other people that don't refer you. And there's people that get your newsletter that never refer you or never call you. So that's what I'm getting at here, is that all of this ties into message to media to market match. Okay, generating an overflow of leads. So measure it weekly, like this says. Okay. All right. So enough on that. Let's get into some specifics. Not enough. I'm not generating enough leads per week. Okay. Next question. Are 10 to 15% of the prospects leaving you their contact information? Yes or no? So let's stop there. Do you know the answers to these questions? This is how you measure your business as the rainmaker and the team leader, and this is crucial to having a business. A lot of you watching this webinar right now, I just got started. Like, we haven't even gotten into conversion and all the other things, and then right away, you're like, I don't know. Okay, well, here's what that tells me, and Craig, and your coach. It tells me that you're really busy being the real estate agent. You're really busy being the real estate agent versus the business owner. Or you just assume that everything's just always automatically going to be okay, which means that you're not consumed with profitability in your real estate business. People consume with profitability in real estate business, they know their numbers. Okay? And there's leverage in these numbers, man. Okay? So you have to know these things. So if you don't know them, then you need to work with your coach to find out how to track and source leads and know how many people leave a message versus don't. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's suppose you've got the choice between a pay-per-click marketing campaign and an editorial ad, and you do have these choices. You run the editorial ads, you get 10 calls, 100% leave you their contact info. Okay, probably not a good number. 9 out of 10 leave you their contact info. Okay, pay-per-click. You had 500 people go to your landing page. Okay, and 50 of them left you their contact information. Out of those 50, 35 of them gave bad numbers or no phone number at all. Where should your money go? That's why you want to know these things. Okay? All right, so I can keep going with examples, but we want to get into practical application. Okay, let me make sure I'm doing okay on my audio here. Check 1, 2, check mic. Yep, okay, you guys can hear me. Are 10 to 15% of prospects leaving you their contact information? Let's go with no. Okay, over here. No. Oops, no. Call Success website to demand the York Region Homesales.com site version. Okay. If you're, and this is important, some of the websites that we see are not our approved sites. And understand that Success website, which is the current vendor that has been licensed Craig Proctor's content, okay, they're a vendor. They're not Craig. It's not Craig's company. So Craig gives them ideas and strategies and methods to do things, but at the end of the day, sometimes they don't get it right. Okay, so you want to work with those guys to make sure that it looks exactly like YorkRegionHomesales.com or CraigProctorSite.com. Okay, if you're using the information lines, you can't screw those up, because when you get the information line, we've already recorded the information. It's a script. The USP property tree, much easier to screw up. Okay, if you are recording, if you're recording a script on one of your properties, okay, are you recording that script for one of your properties on the USP property tree, or are you recording that script on your real estate information line? And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, we got an even bigger problem. Okay, because we could add that box right here. No is either this, or are you recording your scripts or using ours on the information line? Okay, and if you're advertising property for sale and not getting 10 to 15% of prospects to leave you their contact information, what is your offer? And are you recording the script? And are you following our template? Okay, like that section's not here. So I'm making a really good case, I know, for the coaching and the training. And you're probably like, oh my God, this is too much. But it's not. See, once you get it right, man, it's duplicatable. And I'm a walking testament to that. Once I got it right, okay, with Craig's training and coaching, I duplicated it over and over again, and now I was off to the next thing, the next system. Okay? But getting the marketing right will take you a little while so that we can move off to the next system and duplicate it over and over again. And I can help you with bigger things. Okay? Our 10 to 15, so we're over here. I'm not generating enough leads per week. Our 10 to 15% of prospects leaving you their contact information. We talked about no. Let's say yes, they are. Okay? Then we have a marketing issue. What ads are you running? Where are your ads running? Place. How many ads do you run per week? Are you even doing enough marketing? What is your call to action in the ads? Are you using the information lines or the websites, or are you using both? Okay? Send samples of your marketing and ads to your coach so that you can see what they look like and compare them to our ads. And on that note, every Friday, Craig Proctor, James McDonald, or myself, or all three of us, or two of us, do a marketing clinic on Fridays for you to help you get your marketing and ads right. Okay? Who are you targeting with your ads? Are you trying to be all things to all people, or specific? Have you researched MLS to determine the most active segments of the marketplace? Okay, and if you were on a recent webinar with us, you saw that where we did that with Leon on who we should market to and who we should stay away from. Okay, so based on this, what is your best target group? All right, so let's look at a few examples there. All right, so bear with me. I'm going to pull up my email, and I'm going to pull up some ads. All right, hang on. I've got a bunch of them here. Trying to find something. Here we go. Oh, that's the whole Homes and Land magazine. I can't sift through the whole magazine to find one ad. All right, so I can't use that ad. That's a bummer. I was going to pull up an ad on the fly, but I got plenty. Okay, so here we go. I'll throw some ads up. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'll use a business card ad because business cards get dropped in your envelopes and left behind and all that kind of thing. So let's take a look. Okay, so looks like a pretty good ad from Mr. Jonathan, right? Okay, but check it out. This ad, okay, I'm going to show it to you. Now I'm going to show you the correct ad. All right, not that Jonathan's is entirely incorrect. It's not, but I'm going to show you this where he got that from and how it's been switched around a little bit. Okay, so let me see if I can get them both on the page. All right, bear with me. I'm running this on my own here. Here we go. Got that, and got that, and got that. Okay. All right, now let me open up my screen. Here we go. Okay. So here we go. All right. Very similar, would you agree? Very similar. Okay, but if you'll look at our system, you can see that we lead with the free report. We lead with the free report. Jonathan leads with call me directly. Okay, why do we lead with the free report and Jonathan doesn't? And Jonathan would say, hey, I got no problem leading with the free report. I just missed that. That's what he would say. And you know, maybe he would say, well, Todd, I didn't get that from you. Okay, but that's why we have what to copy. Here's why we lead with the free report. The majority of people that see your marketing, and find interest in it are not going to be ready to call you right now. So if that's your only call to action, it's over. If you have an option of getting a free report, you increase your response rate. Okay, since the majority are not going to be ready to talk to you directly, lead with that offer. Get a free report that details my unique selling proposition. And if you're ready to talk to me, call me directly. That's one. It's again, message to media to market match. Goes all the way through your marketing, including the call to action. Okay? So that's just one example of increasing response so that you can generate more leads per week in the system. Okay? So these are things you've got to take up with your coach. So let's look at a different list. Okay, troubleshooting guide right here. I've got it. Okay, let me grab a pen, highlighter. There we go. Marketing. See that? Right there. You guys can see the list. I'll let that play out for just a second. All right. So let's erase that and let's keep moving. All right, let's get on to one other thing. All right, now let's move to the next part. This fall, this will be for many of you. Okay, you're getting plenty of leads. You have overflow. All right, so let me stop there. At a point where you don't have overflow, go and generate overflow. Most of you watching this webinar are not investing enough money into getting business. Could be perhaps because you don't fully understand the leverage in business that you get. But in the Platinum program, as Platinum members, part of the advanced methods is to leverage the business that you're getting to get more business. Okay, I'm an expert at it. Many of our members are. They understand it. They've learned this. They've gotten it. But that's part of the system. Leveraging the business you get to get more. Okay, that's so if you fully understood the value of a listing, how many buyers you have calling from each listing, how many of those buyers have a house to sell, the seller that, you know, you're selling their home, going to go buy another one, okay, and how that scenario repeats itself every time you get a listing, you would invest a lot more money into getting listings, okay, as example. Okay, so let's run through the troubleshooting guide. I'm getting lots of leads. Are you reaching over 50% of the leads? Okay, so what do we got? We have a measuring stick of 50%. Are you reaching over 50% of the leads that you're generating? Okay, so let's stop there, because I will bet my Hummer that most of you are saying no to that question, which means that the obvious thing I would ask here is, are you implementing our system? So that goes back to the first sentence. How many leads are you generating per week using Craig's system, not your system? Okay, so if you're using our system, that's the magic number, that's the guideline, that's the minimum. I understand that you can call Success Website and have them do a pay-per-click marketing campaign running ads on Google, and you generate leads, and do you reach 50% of the leads when you call them? Okay. Here's what's missing from this box is in what time frame. Let's say a reasonable time frame. Okay, and you define reasonable. Are you reaching over 50% of your leads within a reasonable time frame? Okay, so and is it even our system? Okay, so let's take a look. The editorial leads that we would generate, we reached over 50%. Those were the best leads. We've discovered that leads that are generated via your information lines, you're more likely to reach more of those when you call them back than if they came through your website. Did you guys know that? Okay, well, that's all part of the business autopsy today. Okay, let's say it's no, I'm not reaching 50% of the leads I'm generating with Craig's system. Well, here you go. Are you calling them immediately and throughout the day? What does your caller ID say? Are you blocking out your caller ID? Are you asking for as many numbers as possible for each prospect? Have you scheduled time blocks during each week to make your callbacks a priority? Are you using email only as a last resort after exhausting all attempts to reach them by phone? Okay, so answer those questions. All right, here's another strategy. When you call the lead and they don't answer, do you just immediately hang up and call right back? Okay, so think about that. You call the lead, voicemail picks up, I hang up, and I immediately call again. And when that happens, many times I increase the likelihood that they answer the telephone. When you leave a message, which you will from time to time, what's the message that you leave? Okay, how about this? Hey, Mr. Smith, this is Todd Walters with Todd Walters Real Estate, and just trying to reach you. You ordered a free report or a free list of homes, and I'm just calling you back to try to sell you something. Call me at this number. That's not a good message, right? Any message like that would not be good. This message might be okay. Hey, John, this is Todd. Call me 770-355-8010. Thanks. I got to have Mr. Smith's first name, though, to pull that off. So if I don't, I'm probably not leaving a message. I've done it too many times before. So anyway, that's no. Okay, let's say you are reaching your leads. Okay, yes, I am reaching over 50% of the leads. Okay, are you booking appointments with at least 10% of the people you speak with? That's a pathetic number. 1 out of 10 people that you talk to, are you booking appointments with them? All right, so let's stop there and let's go back here. If you're not reaching 50% of the leads, that you're calling, then you're going to work on the systems in the no box. Okay? Now you're going to work on these. You're going to work on these systems with your coach and make it better to get that number higher. Okay? The people that you are reaching, okay, the leads that you do reach, are you booking appointments with at least 10% of the people you speak with? And if the answer is no, I'm not, okay, let's look at that. Are you using the universal callback script accurately to determine motivation and timing? And the key word here is accurately. So let's stop there and let's pull up the callback script, and let me show you a couple of things of what I mean by accurately. Now remember, this is the universal follow-up script, not the legal follow-up script. Universal means it's universally applied. Okay, so let's suppose the guy, the lead, asks for a home evaluation. Okay, Mr. Smith, this is Todd Walters with Todd Walters Real Estate. And the reason I'm calling is I received your request for a home evaluation and want to let you know that we've sent that on over there to you. Is that okay? So again, the home evaluation was emailed and it was a home evaluation. See, on the script here, it says request for the information that you've wanted, and I've popped it into the mail. See that? So again, message, market, match. I'm a little more specific here, but let's suppose it's a Commissions Inc. lead. Hey, Mr. Smith, this is Todd Walters with Todd Walters Real Estate, and the reason I'm calling is because I received your request to search for homes online using our property search site at housesatlanta.net, and just wanted to let you know that we've got you all set up there to search away. Is that okay? So you can see this is the universal follow-up script, not the legal follow-up script. So based on coaching and training, we show you how to use message to market match, okay, using the system. So if somebody grabbed the callback script and started calling back the leads from Commissions Inc., and they were saying, hey, Mr. Smith, this is Todd Walters with Todd Walters Real Estate, and the reason I'm calling is because I received your request for the information you wanted, and I put that in the mail to you. The guy would say, what? And then you would be saying, what? So anyway, some of this stuff makes common sense to people, but trust me, I've role played with a lot of hundreds of members over the years, and they don't quite get it. So again, are you using the universal callback script accurately to determine motivation and timing? Are you articulating the appropriate offer? Okay, so let's go back and look at that. Offers. Do you know there's 3 offers here? You have the buy first offer. You have the sell first offer. And you have your future prospect follow-up offer, okay, which is broken down into 2 parts, the newsletter and calling back in a future date. That's what happens with follow-up to prospects that aren't ready to do anything now. Buy first offer, sell first offer, future prospect offer. Okay? Are you removing the threat of cost and obligation? Let me hear you make your buyer or seller offer. So role play it out with your coach. Are you attending the weekly role play calls? So every week we do a role play clinic for you to get this right, to get better at it faster. I've never seen a group of people who will pay for something and don't use it, right? Want to run off and try to do it really fast. Just get on a few role play clinic calls, okay, for a few weeks, and you're good. You'll be off to the races. It will all make sense to you. Things happen, your paradigm changes, and you're in a group environment with other people that want to be successful as well. Many of them are using the script on the clinics and calls that are talking. Okay. Are you booking appointments with at least 10% of the people you speak with? Yes, I am. Okay. Now what? Well, are greater than 70% of your appointments showing up? Are they making? Okay. So let's say, no. They're canceling, it's not happening, whatever. Did you make the appointment as close to now as possible? So we have a 48-hour rule we try to use with buyers, right? At the Platinum OSA workshops, we work on this. As a matter of fact, at the Platinum OSA workshops that we do for you, we break all this down. The whole 2 full days is nothing but this business autopsy, but each step-by-step system revealed and discussed and made sure you understand it so that you avoid these no's, that you don't have no's. Everything is yes. So there's no need for the autopsy. You can't implement fast enough because everything's going so well for you. Okay? So did you ensure the prospect understood the benefit before meeting with you? Well, that's a huge problem that people get. Let's go back to the follow-up script because that's where that is. Oops. All right. The benefit right here. So let's look at buyers. Okay. See there, free service, not obligated to buy a home. Would that interest you? You guys see that? I'm not going to blow it up, but you can see there's no offer to meet until they say yes to the offer of benefit. So we give them the benefit-rich offer, which is to get access to homes, matching their home buying criteria from all the real estate companies, including properties that they can't readily find on their own and from other real estate agents. Okay, that's the offer. Would that interest you? It's free service. Okay, prospect user says yes, then we close for the appointment. Okay, then we close for the appointment. And that's what that says. They understand the benefit before we get together, right? Do you remember to repeat the benefit before you end your call? So at the next Platinum Millionaire Agent Maker Conference, we got a whole session dedicated to what happens when the prospect says yes to when you show up. All that scripting before you hang up the call and everything, and there is a script for that. Okay, we have a session on this. Do you effectively remove the threat of cost and obligation when you book the appointment? Were you clear about the time and location of the appointment? Okay, if more than 2 days are out, you probably got to start all over again. Okay, well, let's look at the other side of it. Yes. Okay, they are showing up. All right, well, great. Are you signing up all the people that show up? Well, 50%. The half of them show up and sign up. Okay, now you're down to your benefits presentations. Are you meeting with all the decision makers? Or holes in your qualifying the appointment. There's a system for that. You have the prospect on the phone. They said yes to your offer. You close for an appointment. They say yes to the appointment. Before you hang up the phone, you qualify the appointment. Not qualify them financially to buy or sell, but you qualify the appointment. Is this an appointment that I'm going to go on? Okay. And part of qualifying the appointment is, are you buying your next home by yourself or with someone else? Oh, my wife and I. Okay, fantastic. And what's your wife's name? Susie? Great. Will Susie and you be available when we get together? Will both you guys be there? And if the answer is no, you reschedule for when they will be. Okay. Are you using Craig's PowerPoint buyer listing and presentations? And let me say this. There is a difference in the PowerPoints for when you buy the Quantum Leap system, become a coaching member, and become a platinum level member. Okay, so remember, there are levels to our training and coaching and the materials and access to the materials you get. The benefits presentations at the platinum level have more advanced proprietary language in anticipation of your growing business and other people doing the benefits presentations. See, when you're doing the benefit presentation yourself as a team leader, you're really good. You're getting by without some things, maybe demonstration of value, because you know the system better. But when you delegate the appointment to an outside sales agent, listen really close. When you delegate the appointment to an outside sales agent who is not you, their benefits presentation is the system. So all the things that you say and do in your listing presentation, how do you get them to say and do it? Well, that's what the platinum presentation is. It's designed to be used by your outside salespeople so that it's easier for them to take the listings. At the coaching level and quantum, you don't need it. It's just you. Does that make sense? Yeah, of course. But you need extra leverage the more that you delegate. The more you delegate, the further down the line you go. Quote, the lower the skilled labor, and I don't mean that negatively, the better your system needs to be. And you get back to our McDonald's franchise example. Teenagers running the place. Yeah. So are you emphasizing benefits clearly? Are you identifying the prospect's personality type and adjusting your presentation style accordingly? Are you removing risk using a cancellation guarantee? Are you baby stepping them using the VIP buyer agreement? Okay, if it's a buyer appointment, since that's where most people have issues. So yes, a lot of you guys are asking, how can I get a copy of this? How can I get a copy of it? Okay, it's on the coaching site. I'm going to take you there and show it to you when we get done today, but everybody has this. Okay, uploaded it there for everyone. Are you signing at least 50% of appointments to contracts? Yes. Well, are at least 1/3 of those signed to agreements leading to closed sales? And if the answer is no, well, we got some work to do. Is the seller truly motivated to price their home correctly and for the right length of time? Are you preparing them for future price reductions with a preset schedule? Are you communicating with your sellers on a weekly basis? Okay, now, a lot of these bullet points here deal with words. In other words, do you know what to say and how to say it? Do you have the right words to get the prospect to do these things? Price it right, schedule it right, lower the price, right length of time. Okay, keep them around long enough, service them correctly. There are systems for all of these things. Okay, so yes, this is the autopsy. We call the universal business autopsy, but there are specifics on each one of these bullet points throughout this flow chart in business autopsy that you have access to, systems to solve every one of these things. In other words, how can I get my sellers to price their home correctly and for the right length of time? Okay, that requires some skill. Okay, using the benefits presentation correctly, right? And demonstration of value. Letting the market, in other words, how to price and prepare a home for sale using your CMA. Okay, leveraging their motivation to buy. So these are things that you have to teach people how to do over time. Okay, so again, leveraging, what did I just say? Leveraging their motivation to get them to price their home correctly. So for example, somebody's squabbling about $10,000. Now, as a side note, we work on this extensively in our Platinum OSA workshop. So you have to get to at least one of those a year and you'll be golden. Okay. So prospect is squabbling about $10,000, $300,000 house. He's squabbling with about 10 grand, right? So I take a time out and say, well, let me ask you, Mr. Seller, why are you selling your home? Or why do you want to sell your home? I told you, Todd, I've got to get my kid, into that school district over there. Okay, and just tell me one more time, because maybe I didn't understand why that's so important to you. What I told you is that the school that they're in right now, man, there's some bad things going on over there. I'm seeing my son begin to follow around and hang out with the wrong crowd. Okay, they're doing some bad stuff, some drug dealing going on over there, people getting arrested and getting in trouble, grades are way low. I got to get them out of that environment and get them over into that other school. Well, that makes perfect sense to me. So what is that worth to you? Well, what do you mean? Well, what is it worth to you to get your kid out of that environment and into the other one? The reason I'm asking you is because you're right now hung up. It's not me telling you this, it's the market. The market is telling you that you may have to make an adjustment of about 10 grand. It's the marketplace saying that, not me. I'm just pointing that out. So now you have to decide sometimes, and I've had to make this decision myself. What is that opportunity to get my child out of that environment worth? Is it worth 10 grand? That's kind of how these decisions are made sometimes. So anyway, I just wanted to put that in your ear there, Mr. Seller, so you maybe can look at it from a different angle. So that's an example off the top of my head of leveraging motivation to impact price. And I'm still on this one bullet point. So you can see the coaching, the training, attending the platinum workshops, the conferences, getting involved with your coach and having these discussions is very important. There's people watching this webinar that have never been to a platinum OSA workshop where what I just told you is actually talked about. Okay, so anyway, let's move down to buyers. Okay, and if you don't remember what we're talking about, or at least 1/3 of those that you meet with sign the buyer and listing contracts leading to closed sales. Okay, the 1/3 of the people that you sign to a buyer agreement or listing agreement buy and sell. Okay, so let's deal with the buyers. Let's say the answer is no. All right, here's what I've discovered, that a lot of your buyer's agents have a lot of buyer agreements. Like they've got a lot of buyers, 10, 15, 20 of them. Craziness. Can you imagine that? Okay. Why do they have so many? Why aren't these buyers buying? Why aren't they ending up being closed? How are they going away? A lot of it comes down to just one simple thing. Your buyer's agents are using email to try to sell houses. So with our titanium level members, I do team training. And one of the things I tell the titanium members, agents, face-to-face via Skype when I'm talking to them, is stop using email with your clients. Don't do that. When you sign a buyer to an agreement, okay, stop emailing them. You stop emailing. I understand they're going to get emails from your automated system, but you personally stop it. Don't do that. You go find homes, call them up, and say, hey, buyer, I've got 3 homes I want to show you. Can we look at them Saturday morning? Instead of calling them and saying, hey, what'd you think about the emails that you got? Have you seen any homes that you want to go see? Can I send you more emails of homes that you're not going to go buy? Don't do that. Go find homes on your own volition, find them, call the buyer, close them on going and looking at those houses. Don't talk about the emails that they're getting. If they want to bring it up, let them bring it up. But if you pretend it doesn't exist, that one thing alone right there, I just told you guys, that one thing has led to so many agents doubling their production. Okay? So that's just one example of why some of the buyers may not be buying. Did you set an appointment to view properties within 72 hours of getting the buyer contract signed? Okay, did you guys see that? The last bullet point? Get a buyer agreement signed, now what? Go find houses, call them up, let's go look. All right? Are you communicating with your buyers by phone on a regular basis? Okay? And this says, and emailing them daily updates. That's not you. You don't do that. That's an automated system. Okay? It's an automated system. All right? Let the automated system take its place. You are calling the buyers and you are closing them to go look at homes. Otherwise, you won't sell much. Okay? So I think I've taken a little bit of an extreme tact there. Rightly so. If you have too many freaking buyers signed to agreements and they ain't buying. Got to take an extreme tact. All right. Great job. So anyway, let's pull up the other form on this. I'm going to shrink this one down into its entirety. There it is. The Universal Business Autopsy. Okay, so we've done a pretty good job of going through this and having conversation about it. Okay, and really letting you guys see how the flow chart works and having good discussions about it. Okay, whether it's marketing, whether it's follow-up, whether it's booking appointments, whether it's getting closing on the prospect to sign agreements. Okay, client management that we just dealt with a little bit. All of this is part of the Universal Business Autopsy, and please know that there's a system to deal with each one of these issues down here that you might be facing, but you got to get with your coach on it. Okay, got to get with your coach on it. All right, so the Universal Business Autopsy is on the coaching site. You can go to library, file library, and you can even type it into the box in the file library, Business Autopsy, and it'll pop up there. I recommend you do that. Okay, but it's there. All right, so everybody got that? All right, now, I've also made a really good case for coming to our Platinum OSA workshops. So you want to go to the coaching site, we'll look on the events tab, see when the next one is. Get there, okay? The conferences, we do the summit in the spring, the Millionaire Agent Maker Conference in the fall. We tackle the issues of the day, the business building issues of the day. That's what we tackle at every conference. They're all different. They're all different speakers, okay? We engage in different strategies and materials at each one because it tackles the issues of that time. And that's exactly what's going to be going on at the upcoming Platinum Millionaire Agent Maker Conference that all of you will be at, our biggest and most amazing event we've ever put on. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so how does that sound? You guys all good now? Got a whole new outlook on knowing your numbers and running your business and all that good stuff. Okay, I realize there is a lot of questions, okay, and I'm not going to be able to get into them today, okay, that's okay. I've got them all, so we're going to address them individually in one-on-one. Is that okay? So we've got your list of your questions. We're going to deal with those one-on-one for the sake of time, okay, and that'll be much better and well planned and thought out. So congratulations if you raise your hand and ask a question. Type it in the box there. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that while I show you on the computer screen where the business autopsy is in terms of ID number, in case you guys are having problems finding it. Typing into the search bar. If you have a question that I did not answer today and you want it answered, type it into the questions box. Andrea is going to pull off those questions, okay? And we're going to get them and we're going to answer them to you specifically. Okay. Here it is, ID number 1442, Universal Business Autopsy. That is in the Platinum Business Plans Library. Okay, great job, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, great talking to you. Let's go sell some houses. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.